is really going on with these rent prices right now?
So really with rent right now, you're seeing a supply and demand issue. There's just so many people right now on the market looking for an apartment and so few available properties for rent that is creating just a ton of competition really everywhere across the country. Nationally, we're seeing rent prices up 27% for a one-bedroom apartment, about 26% for a two-bedroom apartment. Normally, we expect to see that increase anywhere from like 3 to 5%. So we're definitely above where we should be in any normal time right now. The housing market really is playing a lot into this. A lot of people are being priced out of homes and then are then turning to rent. So people that may have saved money for a down payment are realizing that they either can't afford to live in an area where they want to live or just had to use that money for something else during the pandemic, whether it was a health issue or financial hardship, and they're turning to renting. In addition, you have people that have sold homes recently during the pandemic and have made money on it, and they don't want to turn around and give that money to someone else who's selling their home. So they're going to just sit and wait 2-3 years, whatever it might be, for the market to cool down a little bit, and then they'll buy again. So they're turning to renting.
What can we do if we're looking to apply for an apartment for the first time, or if we're trying to negotiate our contract with a place right now?
It's tough. It definitely is tough. It might be one of the most challenging renters markets that we've seen in any time recently, maybe even ever. So for people that are either first-time renters or people that are currently renting and want to renew their lease or go somewhere else, there unfortunately aren't a lot of options available to them right now. I mean, you can try to negotiate. Landlords may be willing to listen, but a lot of them aren't playing ball right now because, again, if you leave or if you don't want to rent there, they're going to have a line of people out the door that are going to be at least look at that unit just because of the supply and demand issue right now. But there are a couple of things that you can do that could save you money in the long run. One of the main things is, especially if you're leasing right now and you want to renew that lease, see if you can sign a 24-month lease rather than a 12-month lease, especially if you know that you like that unit and you want to stay there. A landlord might be willing to cut you a little bit of break on the rent if you lock in that 2-year deal, because then they know they're going to have a tenant for 2 years and not have to worry about filling that vacancy a year down the road. And then for you, it may not save you money right now on what rent prices are doing, but if you can lock in the rate today, a year from now, if rent prices are still up or have gone up even more, that's when you're going to be saving money because you're going to be paying what you're paying today. So that's one thing you can look at. Another thing you can do is really just kind of look at the amenities that are included both within the community and the apartment itself. If you don't need all the bells and whistles, you don't need, granite countertops and stainless steel appliances or whatever it is, look for units that may not have been upgraded yet. And you may be able to save a little bit of money on some of those units. They may have older appliances. They may have carpet instead of hardwood, whatever it might be, but they're still livable.
Is there somebody you can tell if the rent is up, or is it just a loss?
Unfortunately, right now, there are certain areas in certain states that do have either rent control or rent stability acts in place. And there are just a lot of areas that don't have it. So really, landlords can raise the rent, to market levels. And they're not going to raise it to a point where they don't think they're going to get someone to rent. A landlord can price something for as high as they want. If no one's going to rent it, then they're going to lower that price until someone, shows interest and then rents something. So as long as there are renters out there that are willing to pay that amount, a landlord is unfortunately going to raise those rents and is going to price things competitively for what the market dictates.